You are now a loyal follower of the Villain District Podcast.
It don't matter. How's your earphones?
Robert Randolph. I'm good.
How is
Are these independently controlled right now?
Yeah.
Crank me up then.
I knew it.
I can always use more of that radio feel. Right, everybody? Check. There we go. There's
I'm
the flavor.
cranking you like nuts.
That's awesome.
Cranking your nuts.
I'm cranking you nuts.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Hey, thanks. I didn't even mean to make that joke. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. It's not that yet, but it will be, right? When people... Or wait, no.
It will be at some point.
At some point, that's true.
I promise.
That is true. This will, I guess, be our last episode. Nope, this won't even be our last episode before Thanksgiving.
Nope.
I'm all confused. Yeah.
I just thought it would be funny to...
I'm all confused.
To jump forward in time. We jump
you
forward
really
and
threw me
backwards
off
in
there.
time so much here. It's like...
That's true.
I mean...
That is true. I'm going to change the topic, though, because I don't have anything to say about Thanksgiving. You ever have one of those days? Oh, for the listeners, Joe just took a drink of Old Crow bourbon, which he has never tried before, and neither have I.
It's not bad, but it went down the wrong hole.
Bourbon's not something you want to go down the wrong
not.
pipe.
I learned that.
You're not supposed to breathe in bourbon.
No.
It's bad for you.
It's like when you're a child and you're watching movies and like you don't know what whiskey is at all.
Yes.
And like when someone takes a drink of a whiskey on a on a movie or something.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was going to be like every time.
Yeah. I don't know that I ever did that when I was drinking, when I tried bourbon for the first time. I don't know that I ever was like,
yeah,
like they do in movies.
Not unless you swallow it down your air hole.
Right. That's not good.
I don't think I did either, but you know what? I didn't even try it until I was like probably really old.
Really old. Yeah.
I was really old.
Yeah. I got into beer long before bourbon. So, but question, you ever have one of those days, speaking of being really old, you ever have one of those days where you realize something about the world or about a word or something or a concept and you really should have known it when you were like 14 and it just you missed it until like you're 29? I had one of those days today. I remember I had one of those days about probably 10 years ago. So like when I was 19 or 20, I think I told you about this. When I realized what the word trailer meant.
Yeah.
That's how you meant?
Yeah.
I remember figuring out what the word trailer meant because it trails.
Yeah.
It's a trailer. Yeah, but it was just a noise. But today I realized really for the first time what a carpool lane is for. It just hit me. I didn't realize. I was like, I knew it was a carpool lane. Like, yeah, you have to have people riding with you. But I never thought about why that would be a thing.
You know what? I'm not sure that I know why that's a thing.
Well, here's why it's a thing. And once I tell you, you'll go, well, clearly. It's to incentivize people to ride together so that less cars are on the road. So, like, if you give somebody else a ride, you get your own exclusive lane that you can be in. Right?
Yeah,
doesn't that make total sense?
Yeah.
I should have realized that when I was like 15. We grew up in a town with no carpool lanes, so that's one thing.
I remember discovering the carpool lane. I was probably like 22.
Right. And
I learned that a van and a trailer can make places quicker in the carpool lane. And on 65 South... going towards Nashville. Once you get close to Nashville, carpool lane heaven. You can just pew.
Is that okay? It was okay because you had other people with you probably.
Yeah,
but
there's like
just being in a van. Is it okay to use the carpool lane?
Yeah, I guess it can be a van pool.
Okay, all right.
I don't know.
But if you're by yourself though,
no,
it's not. But they can pull you over, right?
They can, but like
they won't see you probably.
They're probably going to assume that there are at least two people in a vehicle like that.
Right. Yeah. And they can't look through, like, in a car, they can look through, being
window.
Cops. Yeah, they can look through the back window and see multiple heads or just one head.
Van's different.
That's true. You can't look through the back of a trailer and a van. I should have known that a long time ago. Anyway.
Man, I've had a lot of those, but I don't know that I could place any off the top of my head.
Those things where you figure out something you should have known a long time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, yeah.
Yeah. Trailer is the only one that I can remember really clearly. And
I think that concept stems stems off into a lot of larger concepts, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
You've heard the word trailer for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
You've never had to think about what it means.
Right. Yeah.
Because you know what it is. There's a word for it.
Mm-hmm.
And done.
Yeah. Yeah.
We think like that about a lot of things.
That's true. Yeah, it's probably not good overall.
Log on to Facebook. check your old news feed.
What?
And you'll see a lot of people who don't know what trailer means.
Yeah. Who don't know what trailer means.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's probably bad we think about that. Yeah. Or think like that. I mean,
it's not good.
It's probably not good.
Why isn't it good? It's good. I think it's good.
You think it's good? To not think about what things mean and just go, word, done.
No, I was backwards.
I
what
see.
you were saying, it's not good.
Oh, okay.
I think it's not good.
Right. So that's a double negative.
Yeah.
Right. I get that.
So how do you like the change of scenery?
You know, I like it in here,
I wasn't asking you.
Oh, God.
I was asking the listeners who can't see that we're in a different room.
They don't know that we're in a different place, probably.
They don't know the room we normally
maybe
record
the sound is different.
In here, you know what? I bet
it might be a little bit.
It's probably a little tighter sounding. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're in the...
I don't know if you picked that up on these mics, would you?
Probably not.
Probably not.
No, we're in the... we've got a composer suite.
Studio B.
Studio B, if you will. I spend many an hour in here working on music, and I've got my own little setup.
You know, I say we rename this Studio A. I mean, long as...
Yep.
Who would fight? Just Chris.
Chris.
Yeah, but he doesn't know.
He doesn't listen to
this.
He's
not going to hear this.
No. You guys remember when Chris was on the podcast for a little while?
I don't. I don't think I started listening until after he was done.
Yeah, I didn't start listening either until that.
I wasn't really... I didn't keep up, you know.
Yeah.
So here's a question. I was thinking of what can we talk about. So listeners, we are doing this super last minute. It's why we didn't have it up in time, because life happens and we've been busy, you know.
Yeah.
And
sorry for the delay.
Did something happen particularly, or did we just let it? Was something?
Yeah,
there was something particular that happened.
Typically, we record on Thursday nights,
right?
And last Thursday, something was going on.
Oh, we recorded with Nicole.
Right. We were on Girl Gone Geek. So enjoy that episode.
Yeah, I put that up on the podcast Facebook. But go listen to Girl Gone Geek. I think she broke it into 2 parts, which makes sense. We talked for a while. So
yeah. And we're the only ones silly enough to just post 2-hour episodes.
That's true.
No one will
Everyone
care.
else is like, nobody's going to stick around for that long. But we are. We know you do, listeners, so we appreciate it. But I was thinking, like, since we're not hosting tonight, we don't have a guest, right?
Right.
I was thinking, what can we chat about? Here's my thought. I was driving home today. This was probably half an hour ago. And I got in my car, and I put on, just out of habit, a podcast. Happened to be Nerdstalgia with Brian.
Nerdstalgia, the show to listen to.
And I'm not just sucking up to Brian Barrow, because he's never going to hear this.
No, he's not.
He's never going to listen to this.
No, he cares not for this.
He doesn't like podcasts. He just likes to own them. So, but nevertheless,
he owns 2 businesses.
He does, and a website. But nevertheless, I got in, I put on Nerdstalgia, and I was listening to that. And then I got about halfway home, and I was like, you know what? No, I need some energy. I need to boost it up. I started listening to music. Put on some Foo Fighters. What was that? Sonic Highways. Put on Sonic Highways.
Solid.
Which is better, podcasts or music? That's it. And I mean,
that's the topic.
Let's do that.
It's the Great War we've been dreading for so long.
You knew it was coming. Sarah Connor told you, and you didn't believe her.
You know what? I to be honest, I go through phases, and those phases are like hard cutoffs for some reason.
Oh, really?
So the last 2 weeks or so, it's just straight podcasts, no music. I have not been listening to music.
Okay.
I think part of the reason I haven't been listening to a lot of music is because I've been composing a lot of music here.
Oh, yeah.
So when
you're involved.
So when I leave here, or am on my way here, I'm like, no music.
Right. Right.
Did you hear that last burp?
I did.
I don't know if
I did.
I'll compress it real hard so
burps,
people can hear it.
Yeah, I think people like the burps.
But I don't know what it is, if it's a change in the seasons or if it's a air pressure thing or maybe it's just my mood.
Yeah.
But
it's getting dark early, something.
I've got radio moods.
Okay.
Where like
legit radio.
Radio. So probably about 3 months ago I got into this kick where I had like 6 radio stations. Programmed into my radio in my car. Yeah. And I would just pop, like I had my hand was like up on the thing and I would just pop through, like each finger was on a different thing so I could do it quickly.
Like presets?
Yeah, presets.
Okay, yeah.
And I would just boop, nope, boop, nope, boop,
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, gotcha.
And every now, like, just to give you an idea of when this happened, it was around the time of Macklemore's new single becoming popular.
It's a couple months ago.
With Eric Nally.
A couple months ago, right?
A couple months ago.
Yeah.
But then one day, I was like, I can't listen to the radio right now.
Okay.
I need to put a podcast on. And that lasted for weeks.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to the radio one time since then.
Okay.
Not one time.
Yeah.
In my car, the auxiliary button has been pressed since that moment. I don't know when the moment was, but
you just don't turn it back. Yeah. And
every now and then I'll click over to like stuff on my Spotify, but that's still auxiliary.
Yeah. But that's music though.
Music. Yeah. But still, as of late, like if I'm listening to music, I'm listening to try and get inspired for like film and stuff.
Right.
So I'm listening to like a lot of film scores, but I'm not listening to a ton of bands. But there was one about a week solid where I was listening to Metric's newest album.
Okay. I think we talked about that when Jake was here.
Yeah,
right?
I think maybe.
Or he brought it up or something. Or maybe that was a different band.
Probably a different band.
Okay, could have been. Yeah.
But
I don't know. Anyway.
You ever listen
I've heard
to
of them though. No, I don't think so. I think you've told me to before.
Yeah.
Is there a strange sort of instrumentation, right? Something about them is like they... No? Really?
It's a female vocalist.
Yeah.
Emily Hayes.
Okay.
And it's just like they'll have like some synthy sounds.
Okay.
Drummer, guitar player, bass player.
Huh.
Yeah.
What's the song? Like, there's a song I would know by them, right?
Help, I'm alive, my heart keeps beating like a hammer.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Beating like a hammer. Yeah. Okay.
They were also, one of their songs was also in the Scott Pilgrim soundtrack. You remember much from that movie?
Yeah, I mean, I love the movie. I don't know that I'll know the song, but I've seen it 4 or 5 times.
It's the scene where Sex Bomb opens up for his ex-girlfriend's band.
Yes.
The ex-girlfriend's band plays a Metric song.
Oh, okay. All right.
And they just, the vocals obviously different.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's another interesting thing about Metric that I just learned. There was a movie that came out a few years ago called Cosmopolis.
Okay.
I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
And it was what's his face? Edward Cullen. Robert Pattinson. And it was the movie is just like this kind of weird indie movie where it's this guy, this rich dude in a limousine, and he just drives around the town the whole movie, and like girls come in and he has his way with them, and just different weird kind of, I guess what you would call immoral things happening, and there's like riots breaking out on the streets. It's a strange movie, but Howard Shore, who also scored the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit movies, he joined up with Metric to score that movie.
Interesting.
So he scored it, but Metric performed it.
Interesting.
Including Emily Hayes. We'll call her Fruit of the Loom.
Fruit of the Loom, yeah. I remember her.
Including Fruit of the Loom singing lyrics in the score.
Nice.
Which was pretty interesting.
That's very cool.
So I don't know which one's better.
Yeah. I sort of always do. I jog in the mornings, and so I'll always put a podcast on because I can't jog to music, especially if I've heard it before. Well, either way, I can't. But so I'll just put podcasts on without thinking about it. And today, today's my long day, and so I had a course where we were talking about art. We were talking about the philosophy of art and art opening up your sort of emotions to these different perspectives, and we were having a conversation about how important and significant artistic things can be, or how music can change your feeling of the world.
Are you
and all
talking about Shia LaBeouf?
Probably.
Okay.
Probably I am.
Let's talk about him here in a little bit.
Okay.
Just if I forget.
Right, I will, of course. But we were talking about how significant art can be in music and things, and can change your perspective on the world and all this stuff. And so, again, no offense to Brian, he's never going to hear this. So, full offense to Brian, I was like, why am I listening to this when I could be listening to get some music? It'll give me some energy and it'll change my mindset, as opposed to just I'll be thinking about whatever they were talking about on Nerdstalgia. And so yeah, I don't know which one is better, but it raised the question for me as I was coming home. I was like, which one of these things is better? Like, what do I like? Not even like objectively, but like, what do I like better?
Yeah.
Right.
That's actually an interesting thing because, and I'll tell you why.
Tell me why. Tell me.
I find myself when I'm looking for podcasts to listen to.
Yeah.
I find myself looking for guests that do very creative things.
Okay.
Like either musicians,
yes,
or writers, or directors. Directors are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I love those kinds of guests because it makes me feel inspired.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel inspired to come here and make music.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it kind of like
it works
those podcasts push towards me making the thing instead of just enjoying the thing.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, that makes sense.
I suppose it's not always. I don't always just listen to those kinds of podcasts, but
yeah,
I'm pretty selective when I've got a bunch of subscriptions.
Yeah,
and I just like delete, and then
I've gotten that way too. I'm still subscribed to like 50 podcasts. I know we talked earlier in the run of our podcast about how many podcasts we both listen to, and I'm subscribed to like 50 of them. I've gotten a lot more selective about which ones I'm going to download. I'm always excited. I get a little charge if like there's a new episode, even if it's on a podcast I haven't listened to in months. There's a new episode, I get a little buzz. But when I check it, I'm a lot more selective. I don't listen to all of them. Like a lot of them will put out stuff, and it's like, nah, I'm not gonna spend an hour listening to you talk about that.
No, that's too difficult.
Which nobody does with our podcast, I know, but
no,
but they can relate to it with other podcasts.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah. Let's see. Lately, I've been listening to a lot of The Nerdist and Mark Maron.
Okay.
Because they have a lot of the same guests.
That's true.
Kind of coming through at one, like
all the people who do big podcast rounds.
Well, what's interesting now about podcasts, this podcast blossoming time.
Yeah.
Celebrities will include podcast circuits with their like late night circuits if they're promoting a new movie or a new album or something like that, which is pretty neat. So I'll look through those first because I don't know, just when typically when they have guests on, it's guests that are excited about something that they've done or they're making or I recently listened to Kirsten Dunst on The Nerdist.
Okay.
And it's interesting to listen to people like that talk. Like they like they're still existing. They're still trying to make something that people appreciate and admire. And
even though they've already done it, is that what you mean? Like even though they've already sort of made it, or they're already a name, they're still trying to do stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
they have that same mindset.
There's no real end goal a lot of times. I've found
with creative stuff in general. Yeah. No, there's definitely. I don't think there is. I mean, if you really enjoy, I'm sure for some people there is an end goal, which is be famous and then be rich, and then you don't do anything ever again, right? Just party or something.
Yeah,
but creative people, that doesn't really work.
Yeah, I suppose so.
But yeah. So I don't know. Oh, Shia LaBeouf. Yeah, he wanted me to bring up Shia LaBeouf.
Have you heard anything about him in the last few days?
Nope. Haven't been paying attention to old Shia. Old Boofy.
He is such an interesting dude, and I want to say like I didn't like him a year ago.
Yeah, I could.
I want to say I didn't, but
I have a reason why, and I'll tell you. But keep going.
Okay, is it the plagiarism stuff?
No, it's not necessarily that.
Okay, but for whatever reason, the last few months, every time something pops up, I just cannot help. Like he's just like very likable.
Mm-hmm.
But he just did this thing where he watched every movie he's ever made in reverse chronological order
Okay.
in New York City, like back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
It took 3 straight days, a 3-day marathon.
Okay.
And it was open to the public, and it was live streamed. So his face was live streamed. So for 3 days straight, you could
they live streamed his face. Watching his movies. Okay.
It's pretty interesting. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's cool.
But so like I read an interview with them after it happened.
Yeah.
And the gist of it was he teamed up with these 2 guys who run like art galleries, but now they've moved on to like art and the internet and kind of trailblazing there.
Digital art and stuff.
And trying to
through digital
figure
media.
out digitally how you could I guess do like a gallery, you know, that kind of thing, make that community virtual. Yeah. But so he teamed up with those 2 guys, and they put this thing together, and people waited in line for like 12, 15 hours because like first come first serve in this theater. They start with his newest movie. It's not out yet, but it's doing film. What's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know. Film festivals?
Yeah,
okay.
film festivals. Film festival circuits right now.
Right.
And
so you watch that one too? Even
they
though it's
started
not,
with that one.
Yeah.
Theater, packed up.
Right.
And you could stay in there for 3 days if you wanted.
He watched them straight?
Yeah.
Jeez. So he would have
from what I understand.
Right,
yes.
right. I mean, there have to be like small breaks, like to do stuff.
Right, yeah, between
like
each
the bathroom,
between the
or he'd have to eat or something. Yeah. But okay.
So he's in this theater, and apparently he says when it first starts, people are kind of coming into the theater.
Yeah.
They don't watch the movies; they just kind of stare at him. Yeah. And he felt.
So can the people see the movie and his face?
No, they're sitting in the theater with him.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the stream was what they were watching.
No,
but they're watching the films.
The people
with
on
him.
the internet were watching.
People on
his face.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
So, and he said as the movies kind of progressed, people kind of would come in for 10 minutes, watch him, and then kind of leave. And then, but after a couple days, people started watching the movies. Yeah, and he said after Lawless, the movies started to get really hard to watch for him, really painful. Yeah. And you could see it on his face. Yeah. And when the third Transformers movie played, which is the first one they watched, he took his jacket off, put it on the floor in the walkway, and slept through it. Really? He slept through Transformers, and then he napped, or kind of dozed off, fell asleep through the next few. Yeah. And then Dumb and Dumber pops on, because I forgot about he was
that.
In there.
Yeah.
And he was just apparently just really embarrassed from that movie, because it's like, it's, I guess I'd have to watch it again, but they say it's really sexist. Oh. It's really kind of
I could see that,
homophobic, and all of those things.
Yeah.
But then it gets to the end, and the Even Stevens movie plays, and you can watch it online. Basically, there's this part in the movie where Ren Stevens is singing a song, and Even Stevens is playing the drums, and or whatever his name is. And it's just this kind of music video part. Right. And you watch him watching that, and he looks super embarrassed, but he's just smiling and laughing. And then after the whole experience, like he said, the whole, like at that point, the whole audience was kind of laughing and cheering along with him. Okay. So the journey of watching those movies, hating himself, and then by the end kind of loving himself, and then leaving and saying feeling the best he's felt in a long time. He's like, I really love myself after having done that.
That's interesting.
It was super strange, but super interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's very cool. That's in line with the trajectory that I've noticed him having. So like,
Yeah.
I didn't like him there. I had no particular feeling about him for a little while, and then I didn't like him when he started being weird. And I think you sort of know what I mean by that, right? I mean, he was just an actor. He did some movies, stuff like that, and then he started with, what was the first thing he did that was sort of out of the ordinary? Do you remember? Was it the plagiarism thing? Or it was showing up with like a paper bag on his head that said "I'm not famous" or something like that.
Yeah,
something like that. He started doing these strange things, and the plagiarism thing, I was like, like he got accused of plagiarism and all this stuff, and then he apologized, but his apology was plagiarized as well,
right?
And all this stuff, and I was like, I don't know, like it seems like it was just like, it wasn't like I dislike him, but it was like, okay, I'm just, whatever interest I had is gone because he's just crazy. He's just gone insane from fame, and that's it, right? But then it appears now, considering he's kept doing that kind of thing, that's not at all what was happening, right? It was sort of a Joaquin Phoenix kind of thing. It's performance art. He's exploring artistic endeavors that are not film. And
I read an interview with him where he said that Joaquin Phoenix was like the end-all, be-all, best there was. And that... Right. You know, he wants to be the best.
Right.
Like, I mean, he's like, I'm in this to be the best at what I do.
Right. Yeah.
Which is a pretty honest thing to say.
Sure. Right. And it's interesting because like all that stuff is really cool. Like the comedy version of that being something like Andy Kaufman. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just strange behavior.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As
super
art. That's But yeah, no, I like that. I think that's really cool. I liked his motivational speech. I thought that was fun and interesting and funny. And he did it in collaboration with some college somewhere or something like that. And they put it out on a green screen so that people could mess with it, from what I understood.
Yeah, I've seen videos of... One was him giving a motivational speech in the movie Independence Day to the crew before they fight the aliens at the last scene.
Just
or
do it! And then, what else? He showed up in that viral video on YouTube, the Shia LaBeouf song, and he shows up at the end of it, which was just super cool.
And he just
claps.
And it's super weird. But
just, but yeah, I like that kind of thing. And so he's really brought me back on board. He's brought me back on board.
Yeah, and this is what I like about it.
Yeah.
I like the fact that, well, first of all, anything pertaining to that, it can be a little egocentric to do that kind of stuff.
Oh, of course, yeah.
You know, he wants to be he wants to be the best actor.
Of course. It's all,
It's going to be an egocentric thing.
Sure.
So let's push that aside.
Sure.
I like the fact that he understands that he has an audience of everybody, and he's just trying stuff with that.
Sure.
Because like you and I, if we did something weird and strange,
there
wouldn't be a whole lot you could kind of test with that, or see, or you couldn't really, I don't know, examine the reaction.
Yeah, that's a good point. You have to be in his position, not his position, but you have to be in a position where lots of people are listening to you to be able to do something like that and really get. He's playing with fame in an interesting way. Right. He's not only part of his art that he's doing, it seems like, is playing with the dynamic of fame and people paying attention to you.
Totally.
And stuff.
Yeah. And I just think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah. No, I agree. I like Shia LaBeouf. I'm on board, Shia. Wait, how did we start talking about Shia LaBeouf? Art. Okay. Oh, right. Yeah, sure.
I suppose.
So podcasts are better. That's what we've discovered.
Yeah.
Right. Podcasts are better than music. Absolutely.
I think so, yeah.
So everybody,
listen up,
everybody, because podcasts are better. So
I do typically engage more with a podcast.
Yeah, I do too.
You know what else I've been doing lately?
What's that?
I've been listening to books on tape.
I've been meaning to start doing that. I really have. I've thought about it 2 or 3 times.
It's pretty neat because you can just replace your podcast time with, quote, unquote, reading a book.
Well, see, and I cannot get into prose fiction. I just can't. Just novels. I can't. I don't know why. I can read just words. If it's nonfiction, if it's like dry theoretical stuff, I can read it and I'm fine and I enjoy it. And I can read fiction if it's graphic form. So if it's comic books or graphic novels, I can devour fiction in that form. But fiction where it's just words, unless it's like George Orwell or Kurt Vonnegut, I get really bored.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. Maybe I just haven't done enough. I don't have a ton of time.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. For me, it's so one of those things where I have to develop some sort of relationship with the writer.
Okay.
To care at all.
Okay. I could see that.
So, I mean, I couldn't just read like a novel from just some guy.
Whoever, yeah.
There has to be something about that writer that like sparks something for me, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, I read the last Hunger Games book just because I was super anxious to know what happened. I just wanted to know. So I read that, and that took like a day.
Dude, that comes out like this month.
It's out soon,
movie.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Dude, time goes quickly.
I know, it's strange, right?
You know what else comes out?
What's that?
In just a couple days.
What's that?
Jessica Jones.
I'm pumped.
Comes out on Friday.
Pumped about it.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
I think it will be good.
I heard it's darker than Daredevil. That's talk on the street. Yeah. And David Tennant's in it, and that'll be cool.
Yep.
I like him. He's good. He was good in, obviously, Doctor Who's his big thing, but he was good in Broadchurch as well, which is this like murder mystery BBC show.
Oh, okay.
Which is awesome.
I don't know that one.
Yeah. Well, how long have we been going? What have we been doing? We got to keep it short tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
because
we're at like a half hour.
Okay. Should we plug? We should probably plug some stuff, right?
Hey, let's talk about the Star Wars thing.
Let's talk about the Star Wars thing.
Is that date wrong then?
The number is wrong. The day of the week is correct. So it is the 17th, but it is a Thursday.
Okay.
It's Thursday, December 17th.
But the video we made is...
It says the wrong date.
Do we say the wrong date?
I think so. I think I say it.
Oh, garbage.
So. Yeah, I know, right? That's dumb. I changed it in the description of the video. But I didn't do anything else. So
I mean,
it's Thursday, December. I mean, anybody.
Well, I mean, whoever wins that thing, we're going to say, "Hey, listen."
We're going to talk to them. Yeah,
yeah.
But
you want some Star Wars tickets?
You want to see the
freaking crickets?
That just rhymes. Doesn't make any sense.
Well,
doesn't make any sense at all.
Here's the thing:
hopping around with your.
Let me tell you how it makes sense.
Okay, I'm excited to hear.
When I ask a question to the podcast, what do I hear? Nothing.
That's pretty good.
Thanks.
I like to. I'm pretty sure you said crickets first and then came up with that after, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I did.
So yeah, you want some Star Wars tickets? You want to come see The Force Awakens? Watch it with me and Joe? Come on, you know you do. And you could. I mean, in all likelihood, you could just give us a call and say, "Hey, let's go watch it."
Yeah.
But you could go see it for free, and that'd be way better.
Yep.
So and you get to go. Let's be real. You get to go see it with all the DNN folks
early.
No
what is
less.
It? 10 p.m.
It's 10 p.m. Yeah, I thought it was midnight.
No, 10 p.m.
10 p.m.
That's before
awesome.
the date.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Like midnight is kind of early. It's like, oh, you get to see it first. But this is like legit first. You don't have to be like, oh man, I'm going to be there till 3 a.m. like trying to stay awake and enjoy the movie. No, it's at 10. You get to enjoy the whole movie.
Yeah. Have you seen that trailer? The side-by-side comparison of the first trilogy and the second trilogy. Someone's cut together a trailer of scenes from all of the first episodes 4, 5, and 6, and it's cut perfectly with the first Force Awakens trailer. Cool. Like shot for shot, like they got the most similar looking shot.
Yeah,
and like it's so cool. Like
nice.
It's just like a polished version of those original movies. It's not what the prequels were.
It's going to be the biggest movie to this point. I mean, right? That's all I've heard is it's going to make more money than any other movie.
Right. Well, it's interesting. They're
although it's December.
Yeah, they're what? I am losing my words.
It's late. We're both tired.
Yeah, they're guesstimating, they're projecting.
Yeah, projecting is the word.
They're projecting to make X amount of dollars on opening weekend.
Yeah.
I don't remember what that X amount of dollars was.
I don't either. Yeah.
But it was higher than anything's ever made.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's their guess.
Well, they've already sold millions of dollars of tickets.
True.
Yeah. They've already sold millions of dollars. So, but nevertheless, long story short, you want to see it, you're going to see it anyway. You're going to go see it, listeners. So,
here's the
get what you're going to go see it multiple times. Get one of those for free.
Yeah.
Why not?
And I get it. I get like the episodes 4, 5, and 6 can be a little slow, and if you're like a 30-year-old man or woman, or even a 20-year-old man or woman seeing it for the first time, it may not translate like it does for you and I. Like when I was like 8 years old, I had this box of Legos that I had spilled fruit punch in at some point. And they were sticky and sweet smelling, and they just stayed that way because I didn't say anything because I didn't want to lose any of my Legos. Right. I was building lightsabers, trying to build X-Wings. It's hard because of the slant of the wings. You can build it when they're not in attack mode. Yeah. TIE fighters. I was building all that stuff when I was 8 years old.
Totally.
And when I was 18 years old, I was building fake lightsabers because I first learned how to do tracking rotoscoping shots on my Dell laptop I got for high school graduation.
That's right.
We were choreographing lightsaber fights, and now I'm like almost 30 and this movie's coming out. So for me, this movie's going to be like, I watched the first trailer, I teared up.
Yeah, totally.
It wasn't like I started crying. Yeah. But when Han Solo was on the screen, and he said, "Chewie, we're home," I got goosebumps, and my vision got a little blurry.
Absolutely. Understandably.
So I would suggest, if you haven't watched the first 3, give them a go.
By the first 3, you mean 4, 5, and 6.
4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, if you haven't done that, I mean, that's crazy. That's insane. Go watch those. What are you doing with your life? Come on, go watch those. Those are awesome. The opening of New Hope, I haven't watched it in a couple years. I need to rewatch it. But every time I've watched it in my life since I've been an adult, I get the feeling like I got when I watched it when I was a little kid. The opening, when Vader's walking through the white hallway. God, I love it. It's so good. Yeah. So,
have you watched the cut together videos of all the worst lines from the prequels?
No,
it's pretty fun.
That's funny.
I haven't watched the prequels since they. I
haven't either.
I was probably maybe 19 the last time I watched any of them.
The only time I saw, I think, the last time I saw Revenge. What was the last time called? Return of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith. Yep. Revenge of the Sith. Last time I watched that was in theaters. I saw it in theaters.
Oh wow!
I didn't watch it since then. I don't think.
I remember it being pretty.
I remember liking it better than the other two.
Heart tugging.
Yeah, I liked it better than the other two. But,
but
But long story short, you're gonna go watch Force Awakens. You're gonna go watch it more than once. Make one of those times with us. Leave us a review. Make it funny. Make it silly. My guess is we're gonna have few enough people enter this thing that if you leave a review, we're probably gonna read it on the podcast anyway.
Yeah.
Right? So leave a review. If you win, we'll definitely read it and we'll contact you. And if you don't win, we'll probably read it anyway because it'll probably be
funny.
And
here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where you guys are listening from.
Yeah, who knows?
But there's plenty of you
who knows
downloading the podcast every week.
Yeah.
And if you're close to hear it all, you've got a good shot at winning a ticket.
Yeah, definitely. So do that. So that's one thing.
But here's the problem: they don't let crickets into this theater. So
I would actually go as far as to say they wouldn't notice.
Right, because you're so small.
Right, you're tiny.
You guys are
and
very
also
small.
You would give great advice to puppets.
Right.
So, wait, that's one. So that's one thing we got to plug. What else do we have to plug?
Well, first of all, you got to get a hold of us if you leave the review.
That's
true. And if you don't know us personally,
you
can look us up on Facebook. Either our personal pages are available: Joe Stockton, Will Simpson.
Yeah.
With the Villain District podcast is a page. There's a band page for Villain District.
Mm-hmm.
Just find one of those pages and send us a message or comment on something and say, "Hey, I done this.
I reviewed you, and here's my review name on your review, so that you know who I am." So we just have to have a way to get a hold of you. But there's a good chance you can win, and you can wear costumes. There are people who are going to dress up. I have a plan for a costume that I won't spoil, but I'm gonna dress up.
I've got an Anakin Skywalker Force Effects lightsaber I can take.
You definitely should.
Definitely should.
Of course you should.
Of course I should.
So if you want to dress up, and you get 2 tickets, man. So you bring a friend. You don't even have to go lonely.
Bring your mom, whatever.
Bring your mom. What have you done for your mom lately? Bring her to Star Wars Force Awakens.
And here's the if you guys don't speak up and try and win this thing
and grow up, I don't know.
My mom's probably going to win it.
Yeah, right. Your mom gets it. If it's, I imagine we'll have people. I actually already have had friends be like, "Hey, can I win? Because I know you." I was like, "It depends.
Depends on how funny you are.
Depends. You make me laugh." So anyway, but they'll go somewhere. But if you want them, you should try to get them. What else do we have to plug? As per usual, we should plug the Destination Comic Shop.
DestinationNation.comics.com.
DestinationComics.com. Go there. Check
it's
that
across
out.
from D's Nuts.
Right. Exactly. Service 40 Road. They're Destination Comics.
If you ever listen to any of the other Destination podcasts, especially Nerdstalgia and Girl Gone Geek, and also Bagged and Bearded, they're so good at reciting this thing. I don't know who wrote it, but there's this little tagline for Destination, the comic
Destination
store.
Comics, Shelbyville Road, across from behind D's Crafts.
Behind D's Crafts.
That's all I know. That's all I know.
So there's that. There's a Bagged and Board premiere.
Yeah, that was the other thing.
At the Bardstown Saturday.
I think it's Sunday. Let me check.
Because it's Saturday.
Check. It's Saturday?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
That's what Matt told me.
What?
The director, shooter, editor of the show.
That's an argument from authority, I think.
Maybe it's Sunday. Maybe you sound like you know what you're talking about.
I'm confident it's Sunday. Sunday, November 22nd at 7 p.m.
Why do you say Saturday?
I have no idea, but he's a liar, and he should never be trusted.
Yeah, I've been working on some scoring, some fun music stuff for that.
Yeah,
and
I've seen some of it. It's a great episode.
It's a very good episode. So if you've been following along, we'll just say this. This one focuses on Zoe and her past.
That's right. No spoiler. Spoiler-free introduction. But so this is at the Bardstown in Louisville, Kentucky at 7 p.m. on Sunday, November 22nd. Episode 5 of Bagged and Board. You get to watch it. A lot of people who are in the show will be there. A lot of people who are making the show will be there. But I don't think a lot of times they have shown all the episodes at a screening. They're not going to do that. I don't think.
Have you talked to him about that?
No, but the flyer here says episodes 1 through 4 on our channel, and they have a little thing. Oh. So I'm guessing they're not going to show the first 4. So it would be a good idea to watch the first 4 episodes, the 4th of which we're in, and Joe wrote some music for. So
totally.
So check that stuff out, and come see us on Sunday over there. Is there anything else we got to plug? I'm trying to think. Oh, I mean, we already sort of plugged this, but go listen to us on Girl Gone Geek.
Yeah, Girl Gone. We do an episode on pop punk, which is fun because of we used to play pop punk music like 15 years ago.
Yeah, seriously.
And that turned into a long time of playing rock and roll music.
Right, yeah. Still playing something like that.
Yeah, we jam out some.
Trying to think if there's anything important to tell them. If they've turned off, it's fine probably at this point.
Hey, I've got a thing to speak about briefly.
Do it.
I think we should change our outro.
Okay. All right.
Remember how
decision time.
How I was like, you done good, Will, the first
episode? Time, and we've been doing that, yeah.
I feel like it puts too much pressure on the guests if they don't remember our names. Okay.
Oh, that's a great point, actually.
Because there was one episode
a good point.
Where...
Call them out. No, I'm just kidding.
No, there was one episode where it was going around and it was to me, and I was sweating bullets. I'm like, I think I remember their name properly.
Oh.
But
so it was on you.
It was me.
But it just puts too much pressure to remember names of everybody.
Right.
I get that. I get that. We should change it. What should we change it to? You got ideas?
How about
speaking of pressure.
I was trying to think of a Hunger Games reference because of the district thing.
I can't whistle. Yeah.
I never thought about the fact that the districts were such a big thing in Hunger Games when we named our band.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that either. So wait, what would we be? Is that 12 or 1? I can't remember.
12.
12 is the capital?
13.
Or 13?
12.
12 is the capital?
Yeah, 13 is a spoiler one.
Wait, so
13's a spoiler.
Wait,
district.
no. 12 is where she's from, right?
Yeah.
Okay, which is the capital? Like where the villains are. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh.
Is that 1? Is the capital 1? I think so, right? District 1?
I guess. Are they even in one?
Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's like DC.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe
I'm
it's
not
the
sure.
center of the clock.
Yeah.
Because 12 and there's 12 hours in a day. That's
right.
what I was.
True.
That's why I said that.
Maybe the sign off should be this. Bah! And everybody does that. He just shook his head.
We'll think about it.
We'll come back to it.
Yeah.
That's one for the thinking.
But for now,
you
done good, Will.
You done good, Joe.
Thanks.
Done good, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening, DNN.